This is the sound of my house. I'm not sure like how long I slept. I don't know. I played the uh, orange chakra frequency. I think what I'm going to do over the next, well, it's like 5 days now, is go through up the chakras, and each night, uh, from the bottom up. So tonight, I will put on the yellow one. Um, and then on and on and on. From the Power of You channel, it's a very good channel. They know what they're doing with sound. Not everybody knows what they're doing with sound. Uh, a lot of people want to start out with heavy layered sound. The truth is the ones where it's tonal and are different frequencies are the best. Layered sound is something you should work your way up to. Uh, so I'm just putting each day, like what I'm listening to at night, what I've noticed with those two frequencies, they are very clean. They are very good for me in particular in comparison to other ones that I've used. I've used a lot of, I have like specific playlists that I've made. And so I used a lot of crystal balls there for a little while. Um, was doing gongs for a minute and just going through different ones. It's whatever frequency matches with the topic, if that makes sense. Like you collectively absorb sound, topics, etc. And underneath all of that, there's a specific frequency. So finding the tonal frequency that matches when you sleep is a good way to like tie up the evening so you can start fresh. Like I just woke up, I haven't even finished my first cup of coffee. I just made it, went outside, stared at the stars for a minute. Um, but I did something before that. So I got up and I had made a plan last night. I said, I'm going to get up and I am going to. The other night, I set out all of my things. I have made a lot of things. I put in a lot of work into the things that I have done. It took a lot of time. And I am going to work on a store today. Finally, right? I am the analysis by paralysis. I'm so creative. I have tons of creative ideas. I'm probably your quintessential like scatterbrained artist, right? That like has ideas for days, just doesn't know how to like narrow that down into one thing. So it like paralyzes me. It like stalls me, and that is true about me, right? That's something I have to like work on. Anyways, I've been working with like observing my central nervous system, what it's doing, how it's acting, right? And my brain with making this choice and us being conditioned to be fearful whenever we stop something or halt progress in something, or when we stop doing what we're conditioned to do, okay? So I have, first off, when you wake up in the morning, that is the best time to sort out your brain for the day. What is coming to mind? Just kind of observe your mind, like what's coming to mind. Um, what is your feeling? It's a good moment of self awareness and mindfulness, right? It's the best time. Your mind is clear. It's rested. It's not cluttered with anything. Don't clutter it with anything. Just this, okay? So I've had my things sitting on the counter over there. Yesterday, I looked up a few things and was trying to like, and I've been doing this for months. It's not like, it's like, right? I have it all neatly packaged, uh, tidied. It's done. It's done, right? Like, but I'm getting hung up on like one thing. So I told myself today, you are doing it. You're doing the damn thing, okay? You're going. I don't care where you start, but you gotta like get the energy on that moving, okay? So that was the decision that I made for this morning. I didn't even know what day of the week it was yesterday. I think it's Saturday, right? Like I don't. Oh, okay, so it's Friday. It's very hard keeping up with days of the week. Uh, when you work overnight, it's weird. It's very weird. I don't know why. Like it feels like I'm. I swore I looked at. I swore it was Friday yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. It's very weird whenever you go from like working like 11 to 7, and on that schedule to like a normal, average, everyday person schedule. It's weird. Uh, so I guess it's Friday. It feels like it's been Friday for 2 days. Um, so I've got that stuff out there, and you know what I haven't done? I haven't checked my bank account, and not once. Right? I've been at the house. I haven't been spending money. Right? I checked my bank account today, right? And my check should have went in from work. There was only like, because they love to hold a week back. Uh, like I went into work for the one day through the week, and then I was like, I'm just done. So there was only 6 days on my check instead of 10. Tell me why. Tell me why my check was only $200 short, shy of a 10-day work week, right? Tell me why. This is at math I'm talking about, right? Tell me why I worked 6 days, 6 days, and my check was only $200 shy. Now I sold the lamp at 150, so that basically makes up for it, right? This is the math I'm talking about, right? The more you make, the more they take, okay? Things have to balance, things will balance, right? It is all a matter of what you choose. I have examined the math, okay? Like you'll hear in the nether realm say that my math, that I blah blah blah, right? And I argue with it that there's nothing wrong with my math, all right? We're just using different formulas for what's what, right? Like how I can make more money per hour, but drive an hour and 20 minutes to work, and I'm poor as compared to driving 15 minutes up the road, working 4 days a week, right? Having 3 days off as opposed to five, two, with $1 more per hour and no overtime. Or I can make $2 more and still be just as poor driving to the city, right? It's a no. It's a no win. It's a no win situation, right? It's always gonna look like you're doing better, right? Because it's gonna sound better, but it's not. Okay, it's sort of like how people will value, like, and I bring this up all the time because it is a mental thing that they do to you. It's just people don't understand it, right? Where you are taught to value title over efficiency, right? Or uh, title over logistics. For instance, a person will look down on a McDonald's worker that makes more than the government employee that works in a courthouse. Even though the McDonald's employee makes more money per hour, technically has more, they will value the title over the logistics. They will value the title over the efficiency and the efficacy of this is more logical, right? And this is actually better, but this looks better, right? And the whole world operates on that, and it's kind of crazy to me, right? As a person who likes things to make sense, right? Like, I'm a logic. They say that men are the most logic, but on the Briars Migs or whatever that is, I am an INFJ, right? Like, so my brain is logic based, right? Like, the decision isn't difficult for me if I'm looking at numbers or like whatever, and this makes more sense than that, right? It's a no brainer for me. Like, but there's a lot of people out here, and this is how they get you, right? Uh, that will choose what looks better but isn't actually better over the latter. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I'm doing completely fine. Like with whatever, right? With my choices that I made, I'm doing completely fine. Actually, better than fine. Um, so today, that is my goal. Like, I'm just gonna have to start somewhere, right? I'm just gonna have to throw myself into it. Okay, like that is what I have determined for me. Yeah. Let's talk about like meeting people. Um, when I meet people, I like naturally channel them. Yeah. So anyone that I meet, like, you're probably gonna get the like channel into that on my channel. Yeah. like like I'm gonna it's just something natural that I do, right? Like, when you meet people and you can see like way underneath like the surface of them without even knowing them, that's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. It's a lot to I do really well with it though. I was just thinking, I was like, well, if I meet people like in groups, right? Like if I go and get a job or something and I'm working around like multiple people, then I'll just translate that in like the whole of whatever, right? This gives me more of a controlled because I'm at home alone and then I'm meeting with an individual, and it makes it much easier to like read the energy or the person, right? I don't know. I feel like when I people meet people, I come out with more like empathy and compassion than anything else. Yeah, because like I've said before, we've all experienced something in our lives that's um, devastating or that is devastating to us, right? Nobody is exempt from that. So that's where you find humanity, right? That's where your humanity is. You have to be others focused, though. You can't be like you focused, right? Because that creates selfish behavior where you forget others' humanity. And so you treat them less than human. Yeah. And that is just simply a lack of self awareness, right? The more we know ourselves, the more we can know others. Last night I went to like lay down and I kept hearing something in here and I didn't like it. I don't know. I had this like strange anxiety yesterday. And so I slept with this lamp on. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Right? Our brains will tell us things, right? It'll drive you crazy. It'll drive you crazy, right? My brain definitely will drive me crazy, okay? Like, I haven't touched on, like, my life, not in any detail, right? But it's enough. It's probably a miracle I'm here, you know? Probably. That's why it irritates me whenever I see, like, crappy people, right? Because it's like, if I can go through all the shit that I've gone through, right, at the hands of somebody else, like, you have no excuse, right? None, none to be walking around like this, treating people like shit. None, none. Okay. Yesterday, whenever I did the like religious trauma postings, I don't think I ever, we think that we're like exempt from that, right? But considering like the area of like my grandparents on my father's side, like are from Mississippi and stuff like that, like they're the ones with the very twisted whatever, right? And I never really thought about that, but it's true. right? If you add like a horrible childhood that mixed with that, I have a habit of like giving things away, right? Like I've given some of my work away. I just make things to give it away, right? Like a lot. I do that a lot. Um, and my reasoning is, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I just do what feels right. But I just feel like there should be some sense. If you're going to begin a project, then this is my personal mantra. You don't have to do this. I'm just telling you about me. I will. I think that the best way to start it is like charity first. Now, I guess like in the world of business, you would call it like marketing, right? But that's not the intent that is behind my giving to anyone, right? But like, I started thinking about like, because I'm having to rewire my thinking around specific things, right? Because it's not serving me. When things are not serving us in a good way, it's good to evaluate like where we need to make those like changes. So when the lady who came from the cult was talking about like how she like does everything for free and that she should just be a workhorse, that is exactly that is that resonated so much with me. It did. It did. Right? And this mentality has not done anything good for me. None. Right? It always wants me to put me, I'm always in a position where I want to help others with my gifts and talents, others outside of myself, right? Like, I'm more than happy to help your business, right? And in the same sentence, I've got a whole cabinet full of things that at one point I was going to rent storage for to like that I had done and worked on and was going to work on because I don't think I was ever going to feel comfortable enough. So like, you know what I'm saying? I have my own like things to like work on and I'm very self-aware. I'm very self-aware of them. But that like really made me stop and evaluate something that I've never even like stopped to think about that, right? Because whenever you come from like a really, really bad place, like you want to be the opposite of that. You want to be good. And you do that because you want to prove to yourself that that was not necessary, right? Whatever this person did, that was not necessary, right? Because I am able to refrain from that. But you may also be like, okay, well, I can understand this person's like behavior if they weren't, or because of anxiety or blah, blah. There's ways to find, I feel like forgiveness is such a flagrant word, but like you can give grace in certain whatevers, right? Whenever you are faced with something similar and you can say, I can see where this may have been very difficult for this person to cope with, and so they acted out and blah, blah, blah. Because I am faced with this situation as an adult, I'm finding this hard to cope with, and I have acted out and blah, blah, blah. When you can find common ground with your wounds, with people who have wounded you, then that allows you to, uh, well, it kind of cancels out everything but neutrality, right? And then there's other things that are just you will have to accept that there's no whatever for, right? But I promise if you work on observing the similarities from like families with like generational trauma, right? People who just pass on like these bad behaviors over and over again. Nobody stops and says, hey, let me check myself, right? But if you look for like learned behavior, right? This can be a learned thing. Your system learns it, your whatever learns it. Uh, so it can be like an unconscious behavior. But if you make that unconscious behavior conscious, you can look back and say, okay, well, I can definitely see how these feelings within myself could have been present in this person and blah, 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 blah. And it's not excusing behavior. No, no, it's understanding it, right? It's a big difference in those two things, okay? And everybody, one is the get over it, forgive and forget without ever thinking about it, right? Sweep it under the rug, as we say in the South, yeah? Uh, there's that, which doesn't do anything for anybody, and that is their most favorite thing to do. And then there is awareness of oneself, accountability for oneself, bouncing back and forth between um, this is something similar that I'm seeing in my life right now. This is something similar I have experienced. Let me dissect this. And it gives you a different perspective. The different perspective is where forgiveness comes from, right? 100%. So there's that. But I am 100% sure that the best way to rewire the brain and the nervous system, because it's all connected, is to tell the world to shut the fuck up, right? Shut out the noise. Tell your own brain to shut the fuck up, right? Because my brain will be like, you need to, my mind, no, you need to shut the fuck up, calm down, right? It's too early for that shit. I have not had my coffee. It's the same as living with somebody, okay? Some of our brains are the same as living with some negging, like, whatever, right? It is. It is. Okay. Because I have the frequency around for one, but like, I have these people in my mind, right? Like, I'll give you an example. They put up a camera at the work whenever I worked over here. This is going to seem silly to some people, but it's a big, such a big problem for me, right? They put up a camera, and I drink coffee because I work overnight, right? So I drink a lot of coffee. So therefore, my bladder gets full, got to empty it quite a bit, right? Because caffeine's a diuretic. I was so afraid that somebody was counting the amount of times that I went to use the bathroom. I'm a grown ass woman, okay? I was so afraid that somebody was counting every time I went in, every time I walked through the door and went to go use the bathroom, I had to like calm my nervous system. I had to talk to myself, that I had to reason with myself that no one was doing that, right? I had to reason with myself that no one was doing that and no one cared how many times I had to go use the bathroom. Because when I was younger, I don't know how to explain my fucking childhood, okay? Like, they wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. They would think that I went to the bathroom too many times and would restrict my bathroom use, and and they would lock me in my room. I wouldn't be able to come out. Everything was fucking regulated, right? And so as an adult, like, that was something I really had an issue with, right? It wrecked it wrecks your mind, it wrecks your like system. It like something that other people would think or not even give thought to, right? Like it doesn't even cross their mind, but because you have experienced it and been exposed to it and you know that there's people out there, like, right, because you lived with them that have done that, then you know that the possibility exists that like blah blah blah. There's just a lot of fucking like mind fuck that goes behind that, yeah. Like, and then whenever I was doing school, right, like if I didn't make specific grades, like I would get the shit beat out of me, right? So like whenever I went back to school, it was something I had to like tell myself, you're not gonna be in trouble, like if you don't blah blah blah. So I'm so used to like being hurt for being human, right? That's the best way to put it. And that comes with, well, you'll work overnight, you stay away from people, you just, the only expectations I want to meet are my own, right? Because nobody else seems to be happy. Yeah. That's all the work in progress, yeah. Till you die, right? People want to act like they're like, oh, I'm just, I don't know. It's one day at a time for everybody, okay? It's one day at a time for everybody and their specific whatevers, right? It is. Understanding that, right? And having compassion towards yourself allows you to have compassion towards others. And I genuinely feel like that's what creates the helpers in the world, not the hurters. Yeah. The hurters, not the hurters. Well, they are the hurters, aren't they? Anyways, it's my morning chat, right? Energy is clear. It feels good. Gonna tackle this today. And we're gonna be okay. Yeah.